Hello and welcome to Trading. I'm Nigel D'Souza. With me is Reema Tendulkar today. We have come an hour earlier from HTR, Reema and me. So for the next 1 hour odd, we'll be running you through all what's going on in the markets as we speak. A bit of a pullback from the low point of the day. The Nifty is holding at around the 10,730 odd mark. Hey, Reema.
Hi, Nigel. But generally, the global markets are keeping the Indian markets also under pressure. There are fears that the extended government shutdown in the US will further paralyze the US economy, which is already facing fears of a slowdown. So it's just adding to the air of risk aversion. And across the global markets, you've seen weakness today. That said, if you look at the S&P futures, it is suggesting a rebound. Remember, last week, the key indices logged in their worst weekly performance since 2008. You had cuts of close to about 7% seen on the key indices. So it suggests that, this week maybe there will be a bit of a rebound. But Nigel, today it's the broader markets which are underperforming. So if you look at the mid-cap index, that's down close to about 0.5%. The small-cap index is down about 0.7%. The Nifty Junior is also underperforming the frontliners, and the advanced decline ratio is negative.
That's right, Reema. I'll just look at the headline index, and this is expiry week, right? So we're looking at both the two levels on the Nifty. We're looking at around the 10,650. All right, I think we have the Lupin con call that's going on. So let's cut across and hear out what the management is saying.
Development that still have to go in, but as and when this product comes to market, I think it brings a very important treatment paradigm to patients in need. As we look through partners, I think AbbVie shun out. They have a commitment to producing medicines that lack, treatment options, have a dire medical need. They are very aggressive in developing compounds and bringing them to market. Clearly, they were our partner of choice. I will let Raj talk about MALT1, but this is basically a very important target, especially for hematological cancers. With this compound, I think we have a chance to be first to clinic. We certainly have an opportunity to be first to market even. And I think, as you would have seen, we've talked a little bit about the deal terms. This kind of deal terms are pretty much unprecedented for a preclinical candidate. And I think that speaks volumes of the level of science that we're talking about. I think this is truly cutting edge, truly world-class. This is what we always wanted to deliver on drug discovery. And obviously, the deal terms reflect the level of science that has gone in. We've been, working rather quietly on the drug discovery side. And we're so happy to have this success right now. We have 2 more compounds which are in clinical trial in this fiscal. We'll have results coming out for those as well. And I think they will be nice candidates to potentially talk licensing about as well. So this is obviously a very important compound, and I don't want to take away the spotlight from it. But we have a couple more in the works as well. We're all very delighted to be able to make this happen. I'll hand it over to Raj now to talk a little bit more.
Thanks, Nilesh. So I will start by just highlighting, I would call it a landmark day from innovation at a global level. And let me elaborate on that. This is a first-in-class opportunity globally.
Okay, the management of Lupin talking about as the company out-licenses one of its oncology drugs, which is under development currently, to AbbVie. They will get $30 million up front, but there is a potential to receive nearly $950 million of milestone payments. The company is excited, but the stock, however, is sulking. That's down close to about 1.5%. We've got Sudarshan joining in. Sudarshan, earlier in the morning, I remember you were saying that it's a good time to perhaps close out your short positions, and the markets have seen a recovery from the lows. How would you approach trade now at 11 o'clock?
Yeah, good morning, Reema. Yes, my suggestion still is close your short positions, wait patiently. If and when the Nifty touches 10,750, and stays there, then aggressive traders can actually take long positions overnight, or rather for 2 overnights, and expect a rally on that Santa rally to finally come in on December 26, Wednesday. So the trade is, do not have any short positions now, and if the Nifty touches 750 and stays there, consider going long simply by buying call options, which is an easy way of going long. So there is a mild bullish bias, and I must say I'm very pleased to have Nigel on the show. I hope he'll give us some small and mid cap tips before he actually winds up.
No tips in this sort of a market. Sudarshan, sips is more like it. But that's the trade out there. 10,750. We're looking by at that particular mark, and the 200 DMA as well is closer towards that level. So interesting one. Actually, you know, Sudarshan, I was looking at the options data as well. It looks quite interesting. 10,800 call is the most active. Given that we are in expiry week and you have around 40 rupees as you know, premium out there. Most likely, these call writers are looking at around 10,850 odd mark. So we've got the trade on the Nifty from Sudarshan, but I think let's address a couple of Twitter queries. Before that, Sudarshan, I'm not going to be giving any tips today for sure, but I want your trading strategies, and all our viewers as well are waiting by for Sudarshan's trading strategies. So fill us in.
All right. I'm mainly on the buy side today. So TCS is a buying opportunity. IT is bottoming out. Now that is a process. It takes time. But for today and for the overnight trade also, I think TCS has potential to rise. So buy TCS, buy Sun Pharma, another stock. I'm upbeat on IT and Pharma in general. Both are coming out of deep corrections. So Sun Pharma is an outperformer today. I would suggest you go and buy Sun Pharma. And Tata Steel is a short sell. Short selling should be done only intraday. But the stock is languishing, and maybe some small gains can be made on the downside.
Sudarshan, you spoke about a Santa Claus rally, which is possible if the Nifty crosses the 10,750 mark. How high could it go, the Nifty?
Well, I think Nigel explained that, and that's the levels correctly. 10,850, okay. But that's a 100-point tradable rally.
Sure. All right, let's get in the next query then. Hema, it's a Twitter query. Hema has 1,000 shares of Graphite India. She's bought it at a price of 987. She wants to know whether she should hold on to it, sell it, or buy more shares of the stock. Sudarshan, she's making a bit of a loss. The stock has come down to levels of, I think, 760, 770, thereabout. It's had a fantastic run-up in the last few years, but it's corrected in the last few months. What would you recommend?
See, unfortunately, the entry price has been almost at the top of the rally. Now we can't do anything about it. I would suggest that now the stock is almost at a support level. It's a good quality stock. So wait patiently for 1.5 years, and you will get that price again, 950 plus. So there's no sense in doing, do not average, do not sell, just hold, you'll get your price.
Okay, all right, just hold, you'll get your price. Interestingly, you know, fundamentally as well, most of these companies, Graphite and HEG, they sell ultra high powered graphite electrodes, and the street is getting nervous because electrode prices have cracked, but they are selling more ultra UHP graphite electrodes, so they will not really be impacted by this. So we'll try to get in the management as well. But Sudarshan, you told us about TCS and about larger IT companies. Mid-cap IT, do you like anything out there? Emphasis, for example, if you can pull up the intraday chart, the stock is moving back towards the 1,000 rupee mark.
Yes, in fact, mid-cap IT has the same theme as large-cap IT. Just for today, it's easier to focus on the large caps. As you explained that mid-caps are underperforming. But otherwise, Mindtree, Emphasis, even Hexaware, where a bottoming out process is going on, are buying opportunities. These are all positional trades, not for the day.
Okay, thank you very much for joining in. Any disclosures?
No, generally my disclosures are on the screen. I have positions in the index always.
Okay, let's move on and address Hero MotoCorp. That's one of the big losers today, and this is on the back of a downgrade by Goldman Sachs. Sonia joins in to tell us that. Sonia, what are the key concerns highlighted by Goldman Sachs?
Well, it's a very interesting report that Goldman Sachs has put out. They've downgraded Hero MotoCorp to a sell. They've cut the target price substantially. They are, in fact, met the management of Honda, and they believe that Honda is gaining a lot of market share in segments where Hero MotoCorp, has a huge presence, which is basically the commuter motorbike segment. And they believe that Honda's market share gain will be Hero MotoCorp's loss. Not just that, the Hero MotoCorp stock has also run up substantially, about 15% over the last many months in anticipation of higher rural spending by the government, etc. So now the valuations also look a bit expensive at this level, and that's the reason why they expect a sell-off there. And they also expect the earnings in the next quarter to be a bit muted because of these market share losses that they would face at the expense of Honda. And on account of that, they also expect margins for the company to be under pressure.
Okay, so now we'll have to leave it at that. Ekta, our colleague, is questioning the management of Lupin on this tie-up. Let's cut across to that.
That the molecule is currently in preclinical trials.
So maybe I'll start and Raj can add. I think it's early days for this. We have just licensed this out. We need to get a development plan together along with AbbVie, and obviously AbbVie would take the lead on that. So we don't even have the numbers together at this point. Raj?
Oh. Sure. So I think I'll add on two fronts. One, this program, this potential drug product, has a potential to go into multiple indications within the hematological cancers. So that will add to the development cost. As I was highlighting earlier, that the accelerated path of development when there is unmet medical need, so that generally reduces the cost. So it will be difficult to put the number because of the path as we work with the regulators in the best parts of the world. That will be dictating what is the requirement for approvals, but it will be less than if you're in a crowded area.
Okay. NIlesh, any idea on how this $950 million and this, eventual royalty would probably be broken up? Can you give us a sense in terms of what kind of timeline we might be working with?
So we haven't shared the rest of the deal terms, Ekta. It's obviously spread over the entire development pipeline, and typically these would obviously be more heavily weighted to outcomes from clinical trials, right? So it'll come in. But I think there's a good blend of milestones which will come in the next couple of years and the ones which will come in a slightly longer horizon.
Okay. Would this in any way change your R&D guidance at all?
No, not really. I think we've already built in the drug discovery program into our guidelines, so that continues. It's about 10% of our R&D spend, and it continues at that level. So we're not changing the R&D spend guidance on this count.
Okay. All right, NIlesh. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
The next question is from...
Okay, Lupin management responding to the CNBC TV18 inquiry is not changing the R&D guidance as of now for the years. We'll slip into a very short break. Up next, MS Money, the partner at Deloitte India, joins in to discuss the impact of the GST rate cut. Stay tuned.